Well, I got the truck back. Picked it up a couple days ago. Haven't really had time to do anything. Basically just working. I'm going to do the bumper and a few other things this weekend. Maybe the aux beam install, the compressor install, the airline install. Got a lot of installing. But in the meantime, it runs and drives great. Got full turn on the steering almost. The steering stabilizers I had to put on here were not for this truck. And so I got to build a little bracket for them to get, I got about 10% of the steering it's not quite getting because of those. But as soon as I get that done, you know, maybe 2 more weekends. I also want to paint the stripe along the side and over the back fender. So I'm going to do a plasti dip with that first. You know, that way I make sure I like it before I roll it on there with bed liner. I'm still kind of hesitant to do that though, to be honest.
Why is that?
I can replace the front fenders easily. They're like $300 plus paint, you know, so I could fix the old fenders or the new fenders. But once I paint that, that's it. Like, you can't get that off. I'd have to have, like, that whole area would have to be sanded to metal and then painted. So once I do that, it's forever. And as much as I've cut and welded on the body of this thing that can't be fixed, I could put it back to normal and you'd never be able to see any of the work that was done. The other issue is, you'll never believe this, but these 44s don't balance worth a shit. So as you can see in the steering wheel here, as I get moving, it's got a bit of a wobble. So it's not bad. I mean, honestly, it's not bad.
Feeling the seat is good.
Yeah, it's just like I say, I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna get some glass beads or something, some product like that. And when I'm really bored and feel like breaking down a couple of 250-pound tires, I'll throw some steel shot in there. See what happens. But we're about to go through a drive-through and see how that goes. They got a 9-foot clearance. Can't be 9 feet tall, right? Huh, gonna find out. It's funny, this thing to me doesn't really feel out of the ordinary because I'm used to driving a semi-truck. So when I get in this, it's just as wide and it's not quite as tall. So it's weird how it doesn't really feel any different for me than normal driving. There's my 9-foot clearance, and I got that one good.
What's that thing?
I have no idea. I think it's the wiring, part of the wiring harness for the ARB. I have to get it all out, figure out what the fuck it all is.
It's very shiny. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a housing like that shiny before.
Yeah, it's just a covering. I'm not really sure why they only give you this much line. What I'm just now realizing, and I've only been looking at it for about 10 seconds, is that I'm gonna have to order shit on Amazon. I put this in the cab of the truck. Well, this is about 8 feet too short. And to go from a 4-gauge to this, I'll need to use specific type of compression fittings. I was a boat electrician for a long time, so I do have a lot of this stuff, but it's just amusing. Look at this. Look at this. What the fuck is this? Turn that on.
Yeah.
So I want you to look at this. This literally, I take this thing apart by accident, and look what's inside this thing.
Hiya!
I gotta say, I am absolutely dumbfounded as to this is the best in the industry. I need this now. Now I have to go order this little fitting that attaches to the solenoid that I can attach the airline to. It doesn't have one. And it's not in any of the bags here. So here we are, trying to do an install, and I'm just double checking here, but there's no quick connect fitting for me to use. So I get pretty frustrated and animated, and it's because I see the design flaws and stuff when people are doing stuff, and then as I do things, I realize actually I was the stupid one, and they had it right, but it just wasn't clear. I don't think that's going to be the case on this. Again, they're missing the fitting I need here to make the connection, so I can't actually hook up the solenoid today. But what I can do is get the compressor installed in the truck, get the manifold hooked up to the compressor, get everything, you know, Teflon taped and hooked up and ready to roll. That won't even need anything past here, because this goes here, this goes here, one of these goes here. I'm not sure which one yet. Oh wait, this maybe goes to the aux beam. This goes to the aux beam, so it would be the green and brown. So I'm not even going to use this plug. I'm going to cut it all off. Why even include the plug? It's not a weatherback. This is a weatherback plug. That's a weatherback plug. This is an interior plug, but this is going to go under the hood where the aux beam installs. So there's a relay box that the aux beam plugs into that controls the relays on the box, all 8 of them. This will connect to one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I have to lengthen all of this, so to do that, I've got over here some 4-gauge welding cable. And why do I use welding cable? It's a hell of a lot cheaper than that monster cable or any of the other power cord you're going to use for a car. Also, it's not aluminized. It's really hard these days to find non-aluminized wiring because it's cheap to do that. But the problem with aluminized wire is it gets hot when you run a heavy load on it for a long period of time. This is welding cable. It's designed for heavy amperage. It's 4-gauge. Doesn't have the thickest wall, as you can see, but I don't really care because I'm going to keep it protected. And if it's in an area that it'll chafe, I'll put some chafing around it. I'd rather have this plug, the fuses, and my power wire, and not have all of this hang like just. So if you come look over here, this is the stuff I used to use on boats, and I have lots of relay wiring here, heavier relay wiring. These are stuff I pulled out of boats, like these were full-on harnesses. Lots of different sizes and stuff, so this ought to make it pretty easy. Of course, over here, I have most of my tools to do the work, crimpers, various crimpers, calm, you know, everything. There's lots and lots of different types of fittings and crimps in the various boxes. This is basically if I want to set up some of those fuses I was talking about. This is what I'm going to use to do the install, so forgive the dripping, it's humid.
How is it up there?
Oh. Trying to do zip ties with one hand. I gotta get where you are. Actually.
All right.
Well, wait a minute. This has got colors in it that don't exist. Oh, okay. Here's what it wants me to do. I get it now. All right. So this all setup here is for manual switches. It's not necessarily for running your aux beam. So what they want me to do is to hook this plug up, plug this into this. Now for this, only the purple and the black wire turn on the compressor. So those two wires essentially through this will run to one of these switches, and it'll just turn the compressor on. So just to make it work, I don't need to hook up the red, yellow, or the blue and white. I just need to hook up the black and the red, because that's black and red coming off of the black and purple, which is the black and purple runs to the compressor. Really simple to read. I'm probably not going to hook up all the illumination stuff. I might.
You should.
I don't really care if the switches are illuminated, to be honest.
You
I hope I'm one of the closest.
Of course.
Usually it works. I'm going to be doing the switch install in here. On the back side of this, you can see they've got locations for other plugs to just randomly be from the wiring harness, so those might get in the way. Yeah, there'll be plenty of room for these to install.
Yay. That's how you do it. your straight liner thing.
Thing is, it's straight to the side, but looks crooked as hell to that, so I don't know if that's actually gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe would make it flush with the box itself, not with the side.
Yeah. I don't like the way it's laying out on the back side, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this on the front and see if it does any better. That's why it didn't lay out straight. It's not straight. When I'm marking this, I'm paying very much attention to where I put the dot and what side of the dot the measurement is on. That way you're not off by a lot. So you'll notice this is the caliper is on this side of the dot, and the dot is going to go on the inside of the caliper there. And now on this measurement, I have no idea what to do. Where's my handy dandy straight edge? There we go. It's pretty straight.
You drew a box.
Yeah.
We are not amused.
Especially get this off and it won't fit. Probably have to glue it in anyway, so I'm probably just wasting my time trying to get that exact. Always take your shit off, because running this over the top of this is just going to do nothing but scratch shit up. Turn your power down. You don't need that for this, so turn it down. Go nice and easy, and then I get to do it again for the next switch. Doing this at a slower speed will also prevent it melting.
Clean.
Okay, I think so. I may have to adjust that opening, but we'll see. Yep, you need a little. No, perfection.
No, perfection.
Snapped right into place. The tines grab. I mean, I'm pushing on it to push it out. To do that, you'd have to depress the things. Happy with it, and that fucker's straight. So at this point, I've got the switches installed to get, turn everything on and off. I've got this thing mocked up and sealed off with, Teflon tape, and everything's ready to go. I did find 4 bolts that will work. I did not find the 8 bolts that are supposed to come with to mount it, but I did find 4 bolts that'll work. And like I say, I'm not mounting this to like the wall of something. It's going to be mounted to a piece of plywood and just set under the seat, so that it can be easily removed if I ever need to pull it out. Like I say, everything's on a quick connect fitting and a plug, so it should be very simple to just pull the sucker out. That way, if for any reason I wanted to, I don't know. I don't like things to be permanently mounted in my vehicles unless they have to be anymore. I will secure it down though, let's make that clear. It's not like it's just gonna be flopping around down there. I will put something like a strap across it or something and some mounts to secure it. But otherwise, what I'd like to do is I'd like to mount it to the back of the cab. But to do that, I have to take the bed off the truck. And that means if I ever have to replace it or work on it, I have to take the bed off the truck again. So no, this is kind of why I like to just slide it under the seat, strap it down, because if anything goes wrong, not like anything from ARB ever fails. Anyway, that's why I'm doing it that way. Time to pack it up for the night, finish up the hood. Oh, fuck. That's not fun. That sucks. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the drain plug on the diff, let it drain. I am going to get a little vial and catch some of it to see what it looks like. Hopefully it's not black, because it's only been like 250 miles. So actually I better go get that right now. You will need a 13 millimeter, what is it, 12-point socket. Okay. One with the lots of points. A little dark. It ain't that bad. It's not. I was expecting it to be like black, so you can see it's more of a green color. But you can tell there is quite a bit of wear. I can see right through the stream, so it's not that dark. I was expecting worse, honestly, from what other people have told me.
How many miles do you think you put on this thing so far since this?
About 200, 250. This is going to drain, and then I'm going to pull out the bore scope and stick the bore scope and see what I can see inside there. Probably won't be able to see much. The gears are over here, but I can turn mine remotely from outside, so I might be able to get a picture of what it looks like. I don't want to get it stuck in there though, so going to be careful. So check this out. This is what I've got for the fluid. It's 75 140 synthetic. It's got the limited slip additive already in it. And it's in this very convenient packaging, which will make it very easy to get in here. So I guess gone are the days that you got to buy one of those little shitty pumps that you use that gets shit everywhere. You only get about 80% of what's in the bottle, and then they break. So we'll see how this works. It's not very, I guess it's less space than a plastic container too. So I don't know if it's recyclable. Nothing's recyclable, really.
How do you like your workspace under here?
Well, if I'd removed the spare tire, I could actually use my stool, my rolling stool, and been very comfortable. But you know, gonna do an oil change after this, and I was just devastated because I couldn't find my ramps. So I don't know how I'm gonna get underneath this thing to do the oil change. Whenever you do a gear set like this, especially when you're stepping up from like a 430 to a 617, that's a big difference. And the gears have to basically break in. Their surfaces have to break in. And that initial wear generates a lot of small metal particles and so forth that get in the oil, and you don't want that to stay in there long term. So usually it's like 300 miles or so on a new gear set before you do that. But this one spends a little bit more. So I'm doing it after like 250, so not right around one tank of gas on this thing, just driving around. Basically, I don't want that stuff in there in the bearings, you know, long term, the metal pieces, wearing out the bearings and everything, and the seals. So this was recommended to me by the guy that did the gear set install, Dallas over at Blvd's here in Tulsa. You know, these guys are the professionals. They know more about this than I do, so I'm going to do what they say. So go to mode, go to video. Hi over there.
It's working?
Yeah. Let's see, which way is it going to turn? This way? Yep, and you can see the gears pretty well right there.
Oh, that's sick. Is that recording?
Yeah.
Nice.
About as far in as I can get, though. Oh, wait, there's the gear set right there. You can see it right there.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
That's really cool. That's a cool little machine you got there.
Yeah, you can see right there. You can see the wear starting to form on the faces there of the gears already.
Oh, there's definitely wear.
You can see it right there. That's what I mean by the surfaces have to wear in, and when that's happening, that's putting stuff in your oil, and you don't want that long term. So, all right. Now you just fill this until it comes running out, basically, is the rule. These are about 20 bucks a bottle, so you're in it for about 85 bucks on this to do this change. And I'll probably do it again at about 1,000 miles and see what it looks like, you know, just to be safe. Oh, cut tops. Forgot about that. I gotta go get a razor blade or a knife or something. Oh wow, this is like sliced bread for the first time. So hopefully it's not that bad after 1,000 miles. We set the lash exactly where they told us to, so we'll see. Like I said, there's been some question about the quality of these gears, and I would love to have gotten a slightly lower gear ratio, like about a 560 or a 580 something, but there's just nothing available for this one. I can get whatever I want for the Dana 60 up front. I mean, there's pretty much every gear ratio under the sun available for that, but for this, there's nothing almost. I think I can get a 488. as opposed to the 430s that came in it. And there we go. First little change, and then I'll do it again here in about 4 tanks of fuel. That's what I would have kind of expected it to look like after several thousand miles, to be honest. But again, it is what I can get, and I did not like the power it had with the 430s. It was really sluggish. It didn't want to respond properly. It really has a lot of power with these gears. You know, what I might have to do is I might have to have a custom set of gears cut for this thing at some point, like a 566 or something, or a 588 or whatever's compatible. Because, you know, you can't just choose your gearing. It has to, you know, be possible with the ring size and the pinion, and then it also has to be possible with both the front and the rear. So yeah, you know, but I'll figure it out. If these gears don't make it through a set of tires, then I'll have to get something made.